guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my friend Jim Matthew, also known as Chiefy. He's in a lot of my videos. Chiefy is author of Catching the Bug.
Hang on, second edition, Catching the Bug, Julie.
That's right.
That means a whole bunch of people bought my first edition.
That's right.
So we're going to go over some of the things that we would find in the book.
Very good. So in this video, I want to talk about the different ways you can catch lobster. So the first way would be tickle, stick, and net.
Yep. And we call that old school.
That's how most people start. That's how I started.
That's how I started. I did net and tickle stick 25 years.
And it's pretty basic. A lobster will almost always move backwards. They shoot backwards when they're scared. So the tickle stick, you just want to lightly bump them on the back and they very slowly walk forward. If you touch their antenna or even move too much water, they spook and shoot backwards. That comes in handy with the net. When you have them in a position where the net's behind them, then you can use that to your advantage. You know they're going to move backwards and they go right into the net.
Yeah, I think the key here on a tickle stick is you're not going to beat them with that stick. You're going to tickle them. It's patience. Just tap, tap, tap. Sometimes I say even go underneath their tail and just tap, tap, or almost lift them out of the hole because they're going to go backwards. You're right. Yep. Absolutely correct. And so a lot of folks, what they'll do is they'll put that net near the opening of the hole, and you don't want that. Just keep it away and direct the lobster where you want it to go. So tap, tap, tap. Now when you get them in there, seal the deal. There's a little trick I learned from my buddy Mike. Once you get them in there, you do that. You take the tickle stick and actually close it up, and now the lobster is caught in the net. That's the good news. That's the bad news also. Because
they got spines all over them, so they quickly get tangled in the net. But you want to have a good hand on them because they can get out.
Yeah, and for sure, you need a good pair of gloves. I mean, if you're going to be holding or touching these things, they have little teeny spines everywhere, including down the antenna, including their knuckles. Look at these things. They drive, as they kick backwards, they drive these into your hands. That hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've even heard that they can bite people.
They have, yeah, they do. People will put them on their head and they grab hold, you know. But
don't let that scare you, though. A good pair of gloves will keep you safe.
Yeah, and so it all starts with the tickle stick.
Right.
And get just slowly along the side. I'm right-handed, so I kind of work my way back and I take my time. You notice you have a little technique where you kind of distract them with your other hand. That's kind of cute. I like that.
Whatever works.
Yeah, no, I like that. So you're just gonna tap, tap, tap behind them, right? Under the tail or behind the tail. So what you're doing is just having them come out of the hole, and then you want to put this in position, not over the hole like this, but behind it, and then bring them out. And then what you're actually going to do is just have them go in that net backwards, and then trap them in there. Right?
All right.
Now, next, the old green snare.
Yes. So I started using one of these a few years ago. For a long time, I just grabbed them.
Yeah. I see that.
I carry.
You're quick.
I carry a spear gun, and by the time you carry a spear gun, a catch bag, a stringer, stuff for lionfish, it ends up being a lot of stuff. And a tickle stick and a net is a lot.
Right.
A lot to carry. So I would just grab lobster when I saw them, but try not to do that now because there's a lot of other stuff in those holes. Eels like the same holes as lobster, sea urchins, lionfish.
Lionfish.
That's right. So even if it looks easy to grab that lobster, I'm going to try with the snare first every time.
Right. But we kind of use this green snare the same way. This does have a lock on it, which is kind of a nice deal. You just work it with your thumb, but it's a two-handed approach, right? Like this. Two-handed approach. So you're gonna, as you see that lobster, a lot of people will make the mistake of leaving the loop open as they go into the hole, and they're gonna touch that lobster. As soon as that lobster feels that loop, it's going back inside.
That's right.
So the best technique I heard, or I found, withdraw that, use it like a tickle stick. So you work your way down the side. Again, it's a little thicker, it's a little bit more flexible, so you got to kind of just be patient, work your way, and then just tap, tap, tap. Again, tap, tap, tap. As he comes out, now it's two-handed approach. You put this behind them, right? Behind them, and then you pull this tight. The beauty of this snare is you've locked it in, right? It's locked in. Pretty much you can then take them out of the hole and they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice advantage of this snare.
If you can, try to get on the higher part of the tail, or even on the carapace if possible. Do you know what this part does?
It kind of protects it from hurting the lobster.
I think that it's sized so that if it's a short lobster, they can get out.
They get out.
Because
good point.
When I cinch it all the way down and the lobster manages to get out, then I know it's short. I normally catch them again and measure them anyway, but every time they're short.
Well, there is no molesting of the lobster.
Fair enough.
So you have to be careful. All right. Then this is the snare we use. It's basically a homemade snare. One of our buddies makes it. They are available on 4C down here in Pompano, Boca, and Riviera Beach. And a very simple approach. Same kind of thing where it's a loop, but they're using a mono line as opposed to a cable. And we just work the same way. Tickle, tickle, tickle. The only difference is there's no lock on this. So what happens is, as you get this behind them, right, you pull this tight, and then your hand slides down, and you grab hold of the lobster. It is a little bit of a technique that you have to kind of learn. Once you get it, it's very quick. There's no kind of worrying about locking it, no locking it. Your hand is locking it, and now you have it.
Very nice. They're trying to convert me to one of these. I still have the green snare for now, but they're really selling me on this monofilament because it has that perfect shape. The
green snare?
Yeah,
it's a cable.
The cable and the green snare, it kinks.
It kind of tends to go upwards. Yeah.
It changes shape, and once it's not the right shape, it
has a memory of metal. Where these, because it's mono, if worst case scenario, you put it around a tank, you heat it up a little bit, and it gets that natural bend. So as you're going in, to the hole, and then you're, tickle, 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 get them out, and then you open that up, and you see how it kind of has that natural bend behind it, and then you pull it in, and then grab hold of it.
This also has a much bigger loop on it. With my green snare, when I find a really big lobster, and Fort Pierce is known for having really big lobster, I can't use my snare. I'm committed to hand catching lobster at that point.
Absolutely.
And with this one, you definitely could catch a bigger lobster if you wanted to use that.
Yep. As they go north, we're in South Florida, Broward County, Palm Beach County. As you go north into Jupiter, further north up by Fort Pierce, that's where the big boys are.
Yep.
Yeah, they hang out there. They pass the gauntlet here, But that's it, man. That's good technique.
Yeah, the last thing we want to talk about is hand grabbing lobster.
Okay.
And like I said before, I normally try to avoid that just in case there's something else in that hole that you don't see. But if you are going to hand catch lobster, people's biggest mistake is grabbing out here. This is going to snap and break every time. This part of the lobster, we call it the knuckle. If you can get a hold of this, or even a hand on that horn, then you got it. The closer to the carapace, the better. But anything from this part forward, that lobster's going to kick, it's going to break, and you're not going to get it.
What I, particularly when I'm trying to control a lobster, if you squeeze their knuckles together, you pretty much have them. And now look how this is all opened up to measure the carapace, which is between these horns. Do not want to get this membrane for their eyeballs, and then right to that end of the carapace. And it needs to be greater than 3 inches, And you are required to have a measuring device with you underwater.
That's
The idea there is, if they are too short or they have eggs,
put them right back in the
leave
hole.
them alone.
Yep.
Right, there you go.
What about male and female? This one's a female.
Correct.
And you can tell because the spinnerets, these have extra ones.
That's where the green. That's where the orange eggs,
Yeah,
egg bearing.
most of the time they're bright orange, looks really fluffy. Sometimes they're kind of darker right before they lay.
Yes, yes. And one of the things that we will always do is go back and we take our finger and go like that, so it opens them up and make sure that there's no more eggs in there. Because sometimes when they release their eggs, you know, there'll be that darker color and you won't see it. You
That's
know.
right.
But that's a female.
That is a female. Anything else you want to add?
No. But all of this, including male and female and egg bearing, is in Catching the Bug, 2nd edition, Amazon.com, or most reputable dive shops.
All right. Chiefy also has a YouTube, Chiefy Crew.
Chiefy Crew on YouTube. Chiefy.net is my website. You can hit that, and then it takes you all to Instagram. That's how Julie and I hang out together.
That's right.
It's pretty cool.
Alrighty, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.